How's it going, everyone? It's Lee again from Function Dynamic, and in the last video what we did was we covered the very basics of functions and custom functions inside Zoho Creator. Now for this I want to do something a little bit more practical and something that I actually use for my Zoho Creator applications, and that is building emails, or at least email templates using custom functions. Now, as you recall, the last video we saw the double the word. If we just push execute and type in a word, we get double that. Now, not terribly useful, but if we create a new function to handle email templating, we can really start seeing the benefits of it. And the reason why I use functions with that is because we typically have, in an email, we might have a header that we want to share, and we might have a footer that we want to share. The content in the middle will depend on the situation, but oftentimes we will want to keep both the header and the footer the same. So custom functions are a very good fit for this. And I'll walk you through a very basic one. And starting by creating the function, I'm going to name the function get email header. Select the namespace. I'm going to add a namespace, email. Select the return type, string, because strings are characters, but they can also be HTML code. Now, we're not going to jump into HTML too deeply here, but for the purposes of demonstrating the header and the footer, in an email, we'll use string, specify arguments. This is something we might want to put in, but for this, we'll just keep it simple. Now, get email header. What I'll do is I'm going to email header. To keep this simple and straight to the point, I'm not going to go and add in the HTML. Of course, you could add in div style equals, well, now that we're halfway through it, let's do it. We'll do font weight 600 to make it bold, and email header, and then push save there. So all this is doing is it's returning a string that says email header. Doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but you'll see what happens when we put it all together. So we have the header. Now let's go ahead and create one for the footer. Email footer. Email is there. We're going to return a string like before. What we'll do is we're going to return, maybe let's throw in a link, ahref equals mail to colon lee at function.com. So what I'm doing right here is I'm adding a link tag, which is HTML, and basically what it will happen if they click the link is it will open up an emailing, either their email app on their phone or the email application like Outlook on their desktop, and fill in my email as the default recipient. Email Lee with any questions. Press save. And yeah, sometimes for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's taking its sweet time. What we'll do, oh, there we go. And I'm not going to execute it just because, well, let's execute it anyways. Yeah, it's just returning this string, which is an HTML tag. So close, and done. Now, now we have an email header and an email footer that we can reuse across multiple different email templates. So let's say we want to say send off a thank you letter if a sale is made. Well, we can call the email header and footer whenever we do that. Also, let's say we want to do a weekly report. Well, we can do the email header and footer for that by creating a new function. And now the benefit of this, as I had hinted at in the previous video, is let's say we want to change the style. If we have several different functions or several different workflows with the same styling across all of them, we'd have to go into each one of them and do the changes wherever. But by creating them as functions, we have them all contained in one spot. So if we want to make a change, if we plan ahead and set up email templating like this, we can go in, make a change, and let's say the color, we'll do blue. And it will automatically then apply to all email functions that call upon these functions. That's a lot of functions. And we're going to create one more by going to new function. And we'll name this get thank you email. Select the namespace, email, return type. We'll keep this as string. We're not going to add arguments for this. And what we'll do is we'll have message equals string. And what we're doing is we're assigning a variable that we're going to be using to build the email message. Now, starting with a header, we can do message equals this app.email.get email header. Now, with this, you might notice that this becomes redundant, so let's just get rid of that. And now we'll do message equals message plus. So what we're doing is we're taking the previous line, which is just the header, and now we're adding to it. Thank you for your business. And then lastly, to add the footer, we could do message equals message plus this app.email.get email footer. And then we can return the message finally. So if we do save and then execute, we can see that it is all put together in one single value. So we have the email, a little bit of the HTML from the header there, along with the HTML from the footer there, and along with this email specific message, which is just thank you for your business. Now for this, what I'll do is I'll just add a couple BR tags. Probably don't need to add a whole lot more there. BR tags, for those who aren't familiar, are just line breaks in HTML. Now, this is where, well, I might have mentioned this before, but email HTML is a little funny, and it is not standardized across a whole lot of email clients. So let's say Gmail will display things a little bit differently than Outlook. So this requires a lot of trial and error. For our purposes, this will do just fine. And we'll do save and then done. So now we have a thank you email all contained within a single function, and it's modularized using the header and footer. If we want to add in a receipt email, we can reuse the header and footer, and so on and so forth. For now, what we'll do is I am going just to do a test, set it as default return type void, add arguments none. I'll create a function, And all this will do is I'm going to use this to test the email itself. So we'll go send mail from Zoho.admin user ID. And if you recall, Zoho.admin user ID is the email that is used to sign up for your Zoho subscription to Zoho.admin user ID. I'm just going to send it to myself, set the subject to test, and then message here. Instead of typing in something, what I will do, because if we type in something, we'll recognize that this, as indicated by the quotes, is a string. And if you recall from the functions, we're returning a string. So we can actually call it directly on here, email.get thank you email. And this will work. So instead of having a lot of putting together the header, footer, whatever, all in separate functions, separate workflows, we have it all nicely contained in this single function right here. And we can use this in a custom function like we're doing now, or across multiple different workflows. So what I'll do is I'll save it, execute it. It says that it's executed successfully, but the real test is going to be if it shows up in my email. Now, as you might have heard, and as you can see, we have the test email here with the email header in blue, the main message right here, and finally we have the link right here, which when we click it will open up an email application as so. Anyways, that is it, and a little bit more of a more practical use of custom functions. Whether you already have a Creator application, are looking to get started, or just want to have a one-on-one conversation to get pointed in the right direction, always feel free to reach out to us at Function Dynamic by going to www.functiondynamic.com, click the Contact Us link, and fill in the Get Started form. Once filled in, you will automatically receive an email with a link to schedule a time that works best for you. This was Lee from Function Dynamic. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.